2 or 3 clicks on your smartphone. That's all it takes to access the knowledge of Einstein, the ideas of Edison, or the wisdom of Buddha. With the same ease, you can also flood your brain with cheap dopamine that fries your brain. The internet holds immense value, but you have to actively search it. And before you start that search and lose yourself in endless tutorials and advice and self help guides, ask yourself, what is your purpose? Where do you want to go? What's your mission at the moment? Not your life mission. You have to know a direction you want to move in, and then you can filter through that direction you want to move in all the things you get exposed to on a daily level. I recommend you to give yourself a project. It could be anything. For me, at the moment, it's writing newsletters, recording these videos. I create value, I learn certain skills, creating videos, editing, writing newsletters. Of course, that's at the moment my main thing, and bringing my points across, telling stories. But it could also be learning an instrument, for example. And I also recommend you to share your progress. Find something you can share with the world, because feedback is always great. It also holds you accountable in a way, and it costs nothing to share your progress online. You don't have to do that, but it's a great possibility nowadays. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It can't. Quantity builds quality over time. And nothing great is built without first laying a deep foundation. You see young guys online who seem to have already figured it out. And you feel like you should too. Otherwise, you'd miss something. That's FOMO, fear of missing out. But remember that all you see on Instagram, if you compare yourself to those sharing their highlights, it are their highlights, and most likely you compare them to your lowlights. That's not fair. So the only person you should compare yourself to is you yesterday, or you last month. And success is only one part of a fulfilling life. If you find joy in what you do, anything, it will become second nature to put in the work for hours every day over a long period of time. And that's exactly how you can make money from anything, if you find joy in what you do and focus on what service you can give to other people, and then money comes naturally, because you will be able to create so much more value if you have passion behind your actions than a person who just does it for the bag. And 50 years ago, you compared yourself to 100 people in your village, and today, with the internet, we have 8 billion people you compare yourself to. So if this hits you or makes you feel bad, then avoid consuming these things, because it's simply distraction. And as we are trained for instant gratification, porn, fast food, shorts, it's no wonder that the attention span is close to zero, and people aren't ready anymore to put in deep work, deep focus. People can't focus anymore, so they search or they're looking for quick fixes. And that's how they're blended by all these surface, superficial things you see online, and you start to chase them. That's another direct way to hell. Remember that good things take time. As you were learning to walk as a baby, you fell on your butt once or twice, you stood up, and what changed is our feeling of self-importance. There's a quote later I want to tell, but in summary, it's you didn't care if you failed 100 times. You just tried and tried and tried. And one day you did it. You could walk. And it's with everything. The learning curve is always like this. And then it happens exponentially. I mean, if success were easy, you only had to press a button to access it, you'd soon be bored. They mix up success with happiness, and also because success is something that is limited at the moment. Not everyone can be successful, because what would be success if everyone was successful? It would be normal. So it's always like you have to be better, because or you're able to do something and other people are not. So don't make your luck, or don't make your happiness dependent on such a thing. Success is great, sure, and maybe I have to go through the feeling of, or the realization, or burn through the karma of realizing that success isn't what makes happy. And many people say that, and many people think that, oh, look how happy they are. If you see those people online who seem to be so lucky or happy, but they aren't, because it's only the surface level you see. And here it's also, you don't have to actively reduce your consumption, you just have to actively move into a new direction with purpose when you have a project you're excited about, for example. So if you build skills, it takes time. It's like if you learn to play guitar, you don't play like Santana after a month or a year or 2 or 3. After a few months, you will play some chords and stuff, and it will start to make fun. But it takes some time in the beginning, and you don't have to become a master in anything. If you only find fun or joy playing the guitar for 50 minutes a day, and you do it because it gives you joy or peace, you don't have to become the best in the world. If you find joy spending 15 minutes a day, you will get better, of course, every day. And certain things it's worth investing more time in, and certain things don't. And you have to find out for yourself which things they are. And that's why it's so important to start somewhere. And without a vision, again, a vision, you need a vision, you will know in which direction you should move in. And then it will be much more clearer on which projects you should focus on. And you don't have to know everything at your age. My age, I'm 18 years old, and sometimes I think the world expects for me to know exactly what I want to do with life, but that's just not the case. Just start. What excited you as a child before endless distractions clouded your mind? Write down what makes you happy and what doesn't. Reduce mindless consumption. Let your brain breathe. Start something. Take the first step. I chose content creation because it is a possible step into a more independent life, and it takes little to start. Except the camera, I had everything, and I could take my phone to start, but I wanted to have a camera, and I had the resources to buy a camera, so that's possible for me. But it would be also possible to record videos with your phone until you have the money to buy a good or a better camera. And also, I have a laptop, and that's all I need. So choose something you can start as soon as possible. It should be something you could start right now. And right now I'm learning to write. It's something I get better with every newsletter I write, and now my newsletters are scripts for these videos. And one day your purpose in an area is fulfilled. You've learned your lessons, you've built the skills, and you don't see ways to evolve further. So you need a new project. And there will be a phase between the completion of one purpose until you find the next purpose. And in this time between one and the next purpose, you have to give yourself time. And you're called to something new you can grow on. You can never get to level 50 if you've never been to level 20 or 30. You can't get from level 1 to level 100. So that's why I always say you have to start somewhere. One day your purpose in an area is fulfilled. You don't have any possibilities to grow anymore in that space. But you've already actively expanded your comfort zone as you started. I mean, see myself, I'm not yet at the limit or at the peak of this purpose with content creation yet, but see myself 5 months ago when I started creating these videos to now. I've made such great progress. I'm really proud of. And one day I will probably have reached the limit, and then I will wait a certain amount of time, relax, and then I will get pulled towards a new purpose, and I will benefit from the skills I've already built when I created this new baseline by pursuing the purpose of creating YouTube videos and writing newsletters. I want to explain this with a young man, and he is a YouTuber I followed for a long time, and his name is Master Your Mind. He's a German YouTuber, and he started by creating music. As a young guy, he made music, and he wasn't Eminem, but he got quite good at writing music, writing songs, telling stories. And then he worked as a taxi driver and become good at speaking to people, doing small talk. And then he started a YouTube channel. And now he could take the skills of writing stories and telling stories, and then how to communicate in a proper way from the taxi driver time. And now he had a unique skill set he can now pull from to fulfill his next purpose of creating YouTube videos. And he will benefit his whole life from these skills. And that's exactly how you become irreplaceable. You have your personal skill set with skills you can interconnect and create your unique career path. And as you're starting out, don't expect passion to hit you like a lightning bulb. It's developed over time. And in this world of distractions, you're already on a good way if you're able to focus yourself and control yourself, because humanity has never been exposed to such an amount of distractions. If you're able to stay focused, although being exposed to this unnatural level of distraction, there will be few things that can hold you back from achieving what you want. So why do so many people are stuck in their position, even though there are so many information available nowadays for free? They never learned to recognize the real problems. They never became problem solvers, and they don't have a filter to get the knowledge they need. Procrastination is a well-hidden trap. For example, we search for the perfect tutorial to start, or the one video that will change our life. That doesn't exist. It really doesn't. It's a combination, it's a process, it's your life, it's experiences, it's learning your lessons, being open-minded, questioning things. All these tutorials are is like, if you don't focus or channelize your consumption, it's nothing else but tutorial hell. The content is like, we consume helpful content and that makes us feel productive, yet we take no action. And so it's like a well-hidden procrastination trap of modern life. Build projects, not skills. Dan Coe. So starting a project is the easiest way to escape procrastination. For me, it's writing a newsletter because I see it as something extremely beneficial to get your points across. And I want to learn to tell stories. A great project, especially to start, should be possible daily, easy to integrate into life, not dependent on external factors. You control your work. Be challenging but achievable. Growth happens at the edge of difficulty. And if you're young, I want you to spend your next 10 years exposing yourself to massive experience. Don't think you already have to figure it out. You don't, you can't. Expose yourself to experiences and find out what makes you happy and what suits you. Because the things that suit everyone are traps, literally traps. And I want you to make two lists. One list with the things that make you happy, and one list with the things that make you unhappy. And as we have the knowledge of Einstein and the wisdom of Buddha 2 or 3 clicks away, I want you to expose yourself to content like this. Expand your mind, be open-minded. And even though they are highly conscious and really wise people, don't take it as dogma. Don't stop questioning, no matter who says something. The guru says pleasure doesn't make you happy, but experience it. Experience that pleasure makes you feel miserable. Don't just believe it. Make your experiences. Find it out for yourself. Burn through the karma so that you don't regret anything at the end of your life. Make sure to live your life to live. Make sure to live. Just because you live doesn't mean you are alive. We're taught to be non-questioning, to go the way that everyone goes. And I don't say this way is bad, the societal way, but I think it's not made for everyone. And there are more and more people who want to understand. They're no longer impressed by wealth and superficial achievements. They want truth. And that starts by questioning. Question everything, please. The system prefers people who don't question, and that's why there are always critical voices that don't want you to become a questioner. You get pulled towards being in a certain position, and also be aware of not only being on the contrary, constantly fighting against the system, or actually, I don't like to call it the system, but I guess you know what I mean by saying the system. People don't like you for being a questioner because it could possibly destroy their view of life or what they think is just the way it is. And they think, what the fuck? Why do you question these things? They are just the ultimate truth. But 50 years ago, smoking was healthy, and now it's like that's deadly unhealthy. I mean, why didn't you question it? I mean, yeah, it's it's like things are getting sold as dogma, and that's the ultimate truth. But 50 years later, it says, no, 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 that's completely wrong. So don't take everything as the absolute truth, because there's always a theory that says the contrary and seems also really right. So find out what suits you and don't identify with certain positions or ideologies. It just limits yourself from expand and evolve as a human being. Just because life takes decades to master, it doesn't mean you can't enjoy it now. It's the same with playing guitar. After a few months, it's really fun, but you won't be a master at playing guitar yet. And you don't have to become a master at playing guitar to make it really fun. And the earlier you start to question things and to think on your own, become independent, the better. Because then your quality of life starts to improve immediately. Start with the basics, develop skills that align with your personality, find what nutrition makes you feel best, experiment, immerse yourself in deep, long form content, stop chasing an imaginary destination. Now is all you ever have. Yes, have a vision, but live in the now. Time is an illusion. People recreate their past over and over because they're identified with things that happened to them. Make these things conscious by entering the present moment. And how do you become aware of the present moment and therefore raising your level of consciousness? Follow your breath. Notice the space between objects instead of focusing only on things. Pay attention to the silence between sounds. I recommend reading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. If you master presence, you master life. And as your presence increases your life quality also. It boils down to non-resistance to what already is. From there, change happens. Thanks for watching. Peace.